Paige. She normally fights at 115, and she's going to fight Paige at 125, so that'll be interesting. I think Paige is going to bully her. I think Paige is going to bully her and wrestle her and keep her on the ground. And I don't know if she'll be able to submit her. I'm sure she'll be trying to submit her. I think she'll win either by submission or by decision. The other fights on that card, worth keeping an eye on. Obviously, the co-main event is Northcutt versus Gall. I hope Gall tears Northcutt a new asshole. And then Uriah Faber against Brad Pickett. I think Faber will submit him. Guillotine is my prediction. But Pickett could knock him out. But I just don't see that happening. Faber's going to take him down and submit him. Alan Jouban is fighting, which I always love to see him fight. He actually comes to fight every time. He's intense, super intense, good at BJJ. Cole Miller is fighting. Always interested in watching Cole fight. And Eddie Wineland against Takeo Mitsugaki. I mean, those two guys are pretty much past their prime, but they're both past their prime. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about fighting is, like, if you get two guys who are either both up-and-coming fighters, or two guys who are both in their prime, or two guys who are both past their prime, you have the not opportunity, you have the potential for fireworks in those kind of situations. I feel like if their styles match up, you have the potential for a really good matchup, and I think Eddie Wineland and Takeo Mitsugaki could be a very good matchup. They're both primarily boxing based with their striking, and they're both super quick. Wineland has more power than Mitsugaki, and I kind of see Wineland knocking out Mitsugaki in that fight. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the fights. Now, I just want to very briefly touch on the Cowboys game this past Sunday against the Giants. It was painful, to say the least, to watch. Dak Prescott just never looked like he had it. He just never looked like he had that game under control. He looked like the weather was bothering him. He looked like the line, like the pressure was bothering him. And I don't understand why we didn't help him more with the play calling. Ezekiel Elliott was averaging like 5 yards a carry. He had like 16 or 17 carries for like 120 something yards. And why weren't we giving him the ball more? Especially since it's obvious that Dak was struggling. I mean, I know the whole point is to set up the play action pass, and obviously, like, the touchdown pass that he threw to Terrence Williams, which was wide open, was because of a play action pass. But a play action pass will only work better if the more you run. And of course, there's extenuating circumstances as to why they would, not run when I feel like they should. But what the fuck? He's the best running back in football already, and he's a rookie. Give him the ball. We have the best offensive line in the world. Give him the ball. Let him control the game. We had the lead throughout the whole game. It was 7-3. If we had controlled the clock better by running the ball more, who knows what happens at the end of the game. That being said, the defense played very well. They gave up one big play to that fucking Odell Beckham Jr. I hate that dude. I hate him so much. And he had one big play, and it ended up costing the Cowboys the game. That and Dan Bailey's kick at the end of the half hitting the crossbar. If the ball had rotated one more time, it would have hit on the opposite side of the crossbar and gone over, and the game would have been tied. We would have gone to overtime instead of losing. But of course, I mean, like, Des Bryant's fumble in the fourth quarter was the killer, and that's pretty much it. They didn't play well enough to win, and that's the simple, obvious truth about it. The offense struggled, Dak struggled, and they just didn't play well enough to win. The defense did. The offense didn't, which is very odd. to say that as a Cowboys fan. And for those people who are saying that we should put Tony back in at this point, fuck you. You're the same motherfuckers who said that, that he should never get his job back. You're just the fucking fickle ass, latest results only type of people who are just always going to jump the gun and always going to be constantly changing your fucking opinion about whatever based on what just happened. And you're not going to take into consideration any of the other circumstances, and it's not the time to take him back out and put back in Romo. All that does is tell the rest of the team, and the rest of the league for that matter, that we're not confident in what the fuck we're doing. So keep Dak in there. If he continues to struggle, if it's going to cost us a playoff game, get Tony back in there. But for the most part, at this point, we've made our choice. It's time to move forward with that choice. I'm going to cut it off there. This is already a much longer video than I anticipated it being. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever, done one of these videos, so I'm sure that I'll be able to, in the future, kind of trim the fat a little bit, make it more cohesive, make sure my thoughts are more cohesive, but, yeah, it pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. So, I'll be trying to put out another one soon, about who knows what, so check back in. Thanks, guys.